Hello, Leo. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for clicking on the video. And tonight, Leo, we have the ultimate energy, right? The soul card, the sun, the great revealer. The great revealer, the great energy of creation, right? That thing that we need, that ingredient that must be to bring life to our life, life to our lives. And it is that fire, it is that creative force, it is that belovedness, it is that thing that gets you just excited, immersed, being pulled into that flow, that current of manifestation, of creation. And so, for a Leo to get a sun card in this most beautiful time of the year, might I add, is pretty fortunate, I think. I have a good feeling about this one. So let's go ahead. We're going to turn the bowl. Okay. And we'll lift it up. And we're going to take a look and see what the tea leaves have to say. I'm just going to I've been rearranging things. I'm going to be moving my set here pretty soon, but I've been trying to soundproof. And I've kind of I've made an office within an office. If you could think of like a little cubicle kind of deal, and then all this soundproofing stuff around it. It's like I'm going into a small little cave. I feel like I'm doing real magic in here. I get to crawl into my little soundproof cave and do my divination. And that's such a fun and wonderful way. All right, let's see. So, interesting. So I feel that we start with your parents or family members, maybe that raised you, people who are close, but older. Maybe you had older parents. Very connected, very magical people. We have them down here, and I'm just kind of taking it all in. We have a person here. You can see the head. Here would be kind of the nose and the mouth, and this is where the neck would be, but they also have a bird's head there, okay, right in the throat chakra. So this tells me that the feminine person in your life, the mother, grandmother, older sister, whoever it is that you kind of considered to be that chief role model for you. And it doesn't have to be family, of course. We all have, so many people that raise us along the way. And so I believe that this is a person that is very intuitive, very connected to the other side. You can see off the top of the head, right here, flowing back, almost kind of, you see all these things kind of attached to the back of the head there. Now, the body is here, and the hand is out and holding some kind of, shared object. Now, we also have down here, it looks like maybe 2 children, okay? 2 young ones. Now, over here, we have a person who is sitting, Okay, you can kind of see in this seated position, the head up here. Okay, now here it almost looks like they're holding something that looks like the number 8. I think I'm far enough in. It could also be that this is a, somewhat phallic symbol, okay? We also have the seated person, and you turn it, and it looks like they're the peacock, right? So the head up here, and it kind of, yeah. So kind of showy, right? Maybe a little bit of a show off. Maybe you grew up with the dreaded one-upper, right? So I feel like your parents, and I also wonder if your the feminine energy, the mother figure, was a Capricorn, or is a Capricorn. I shouldn't say was. They could still be around, obviously. So I feel that their connection is one that their families did not approve of. And I think it was so strange to witness two people that fit together so well, lived probably unconventionally to some degree, whatever that means, that's up to you, right? But the families just could not see past their own judgments, their own prejudices. And that's really what I think it comes down to. And this might be centered around religion or background, economic class, that kind of thing. And you might scoff at that, but yeah, of course, people still, these are factors that come into mind when people are finding reasons not, to not like each other. So, which is unfortunate. I laugh because it seems ridiculous. But, yeah, I think that this was hard. It was hard. It was like your unit against the world. And I think that stuck with you, Leo. Even though you are really good at connecting with people, and I'm just seeing all these faces up here, just kind of scowling people, right? And I feel like for you, it felt almost like you were also being rejected because you were taking on the energies of all these people around you, really coming down on people that you loved, and you saw them quite differently. Right? You experience them differently. And, they're like parents, or they are your parents. And so I think that this really kind of, it made you very conscious of people and how they move, right? And knowing that sometimes it doesn't have to make sense. People can get the short end of things or be treated poorly, and there's no reason, no rhyme or reason, right? And, that's a really hard truth to come into. And some people they might be 50 years old before something happens, and they think, well, I didn't deserve that. That's not fair. And then there's a lot of us that found out from the jump. Guess what? This world, it moves how it moves. And especially when you are involving other human beings, right? Then it gets even more chaotic. So, I feel like this is something maybe you look back at and you lament, right? It's the sore spot. But I also feel like this is an opportunity to recognize the power that you gained and understanding what it feels like to be othered or to be, you know, accepted with condition or a conditional love, or that things are just not fair and it doesn't make sense, you know, and that's life. That's life, buddy, you know? So I believe that that's been one of your superpowers, honestly. And I think that probably you've done well within your career, the industry you've chosen. I feel like you're very self-motivated. And you're not going to be deterred by other people or their ideas of what you should be doing or how you should do it or this or that, because you're not somebody that fits in a box. You're very innovative. You're on to the next thing while other people are like 5 things behind, right? Trying to catch up. So I want to look at this over here. We also have, it looks like the number 22. But we also have a person sitting here. It looks like a chair, like they're a chair kind of. Oh no, let's turn it. Okay, so wild. Okay, so we have a person. They're right here. They have a bird on their shoulder. Here's the head of the person. Okay. It looks like they have a fish, another fish. Now, they're riding a beast. It looks like actually a Capricorn again. Look at this. It looks like the goat and then that weird like tail that Capricorns are sea goats. Go look it up. I was surprised when I first started doing readings. I guess I never really fully thought about it. And I was like, what the heck is this? So anyways, we have the riding on the Capricorn. Okay. Now, the fish represent money. Money, money, money. Now, the bird, again, represents a message, okay? And this is a message held because you can see the bird is sitting. They're in like a roosting kind of position. Now, if we turn it back, how did I have it like this? We have this giant, look at that thing. And even it has eyes. It has eyes, you guys. And its little mouth is open. You almost kind of think, oh, this isn't that's scary, but it's a cobra, some kind of snake. And so because these are so big, I mean, it's big. It's not like a little snake on the ground. And meeting face to face, I do believe that this is like a vision, a revelation and dream. Maybe you have like fully immersive waking experiences with the divine or entities or whatever, which maybe we'd call vision or visitation or, what have you. But I do feel like the head looks like Doge a little bit. That the dog, right? The meme dog thing. Anyways, revelation, meeting with the serpent, right? Being initiated, basically. A veil lifted, yet another, right? One after another. And so I do feel like this is almost kind of maddening. Why? Because I feel like you have something going that's like working for you and you're doing pretty dang good at it. But of course you're a Leo, you get bored. I listen, I know you could be doing the best. And then you're like, kind of been there, done that. I'm ready for something else. So I kind of feel like you're catching the hint of what am I going to do next? What is my next project? What is my next thing? Well, I think you find that a little annoying because it's like, can I ever just be where I'm at? Can I ever just enjoy what I've built? Do I always have to have that burning thing inside of me telling me, keep going, keep going, keep going? Well, I'll tell you what, some people pay a lot of money to figure out how to have that kind of burn, right? That thing that just propels you forward to continue expanding, deepening, and creating, right? So I feel like as this thing becomes, and we also have, I want to look at these numbers really quick before I forget. We have the number 797, and then we have the number 618. Okay, 797 and 6. Oh, you know what? It looks like it's 7618. Okay, so these are long numbers today. So I see you maybe working with this Capricorn person. Maybe this is like going to be a partner or somebody that you hire, or, you know, you get this new position and you meet somebody at work and you get real close, or I don't know. But I feel like you are going to really be working together. Okay. Now, the deal is, we have Queen as cat. We have the boar. We have the goddess of magic right in here. Here's the boar right here. You can see here's the face of the boar. Here's the back and the body. Here is the goddess, right? And you can see her body, arms raised, okay, holding it looks like a crab. We have a crab, we have the moon, and we have the star or the sun, right? Right there. We also have over here the cat, but also wearing a crown. So she is the goddess. Now over here we have a lamp, and we have it looks like somebody holding a scythe. Okay, but I'm going to read it as the hermit holding the harvesting tool. Okay, so we have this like real goddess energy, and I feel almost like you are coming into a place where, and this is, you know, kind of that lore, being held in this space until you do the work. And that is because we see the boar or the pig, right? The wild pig. And we know, right? You end up on that island of the pigs, and you don't please the lady. You don't, you know, commune with her, the goddess, right? If you don't commune with her or give offering in the way that is well expected, you're going to be stuck there. You're not going anywhere, right? And so, and also another reminder, if you go to another dimension, we'll say, or go with the fae, for instance, if the fairies ask you to come to fairyland, don't eat their food, because you'll get trapped. And this is part of that old kind of trope in mythology, right? You end up somewhere, you partake, and you have a hard time figuring out how to get home, okay? So, anyhow, I feel that you come into this development, and I think that it really is kind of a spiritual magical, much more magical than emotional or spiritual, which they're all intertwined. Of course, you need all of these elements to do magic. But I do feel like this is kind of, you know, the goddess activating, the goddess kind of bringing you in, the goddess of magic. And let me be clear, this is about the goddess of magic, and being kind of pulled into this It is a lunar energy, really. It's a very, and we see her holding the moon, right? So there is an element of kind of dissociation from reality, okay? A distorted kind of feeling of perception, okay? So I do feel like you will feel this mind, body, soul, right? Coming into this period of time of like, I'm feeling ultra connected and yet I don't understand why I'm a human in a human body and why am I here? You know, you start to have these little existential kind of ripples, right? You start to feel less immersed in your daily life. And you start to have these like deeper things, like thoughts, questions, impulses, right? A movement towards wanting to create, like we've been talking about. You have those stirrings of the next thing, but it's also so much about like, I remember why I'm here. Suddenly, I remember. It's like that. Okay, here, when you go across the house, you cross through, you know, down 2 hallways and past or through 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 4 rooms. And you get into the room that you are headed towards and you stand there and you stop and you think, why did I come in here? What was I looking for? What was I? And you look around. And then it hits you. Oh, yeah. I came in here to get the, you know, I don't know, pencil. I was looking for a pencil. You know, whatever it is. And that feeling, it just snaps. Oh, there it is. Got it. And that's what it feels like. You start to realize, like, I have this magic. I got this magic in me. I have this ability to manifest, to create, to bring forth the things that I conceive in my mind, these abstract, you know, theoretical, ambiguous things. And I somehow can pull it into reality. Yes, come here. I'm pulling you into reality, right? And not only that, you are brave enough, confident enough, right? Giving less, you knows. I have 0, you knows to give, right? And that's the energy. I don't think that you mind what people think. In fact, I don't think you even think about what people think of you. Not that often, not anymore. Maybe when you were younger. But as you grow, as you get older, as you really, yes, get into the work more deeply, you don't care. You're here to do your work. And if you can do that parallel to other people, wonderful. But you don't care if they think what you're doing is silly or insane or doesn't make sense. No, because you know what you're doing. And even if you don't, you know your intuition is leading you that way. So, we have that queen energy. And that's the thing. Independent, unbothered, doing your own thing. And you are. I feel like you are in monk mode. You usually are. People think of Leos as being ultra social. And to some degree, yeah, you're good. You're like you switch. You can do both, right? But I feel like oftentimes people that are so out there are really the ones that have these like very deep inner lives. And not always, but I do believe, you know, that there is a degree of yeah, of this being kind of like your vessel to navigate the greater world. And you do that by being able to connect with people. But inside, in that inner place, hey, you're just as introverted as the rest of us, right? And I think that oftentimes you do look at being so personable and charming and, just kind of really, and you're enthralling. You really bring people in. And you see that as a really good tool. But it's not necessarily something that gives you a ton of pleasure anymore, right? And I think that's the thing. And it might be even that you've become just a little disillusioned by people and by life, right? The older we get, the more ordeals. Yeah, that can happen. Absolutely. Now, we're going to look at this over here. We have the letter A. And we have the word time. The number 212. And we have a dreamer. Two people here, question mark. Here we have the dreamer. And where do we go? Here we have a person carrying this other person on their back, like they're back to back, like they're carrying them like you could imagine like a big load of something on their back. I'm imagining like a bunch of wheat or something like thrown over your back and you're carrying it, but this is a person. So I feel that maybe this is within a relationship, a friendship, where I feel like you dreamt about this person. You manifested them in your life, or at least that's what it feels like. You had dreamed and dreamed and dreamed. You'd wished, you'd hoped, you'd prayed, all this stuff, right? And you finally get together. You meet each other. Wow. It's this great miracle, this wonderful thing. And I feel that, yes, there's this deep connection. There is this kinship. There is this equality, right? And it's natural. It's not something that you have to think about or put on. You just feel. You see eye to eye, heart to heart, right? It feels balanced. Now, I believe that you are coming into a period of your life where you're going to have to help take care of them. I don't know if this is a health thing, a financial thing, like a mental health or spiritual or what. I don't know. But I do know that this is the part where you're going to have to take up a little bit and be there for them, all while doing all these other things, right? But I feel like you meet this with great love. It's no thing. It's not even something you would think about, right? It's like, if your kid is running on the sidewalk and they trip, and they go and bump their knee, scrape their knee, immediately you're off your feet, or you're on your feet, running towards your kid, making sure, hey, are you okay? Oh no, and now, there's not even like a thought of, well, should I go check them? Now, as they get older, you might think, okay, well, maybe I don't react and they won't cry, but yeah, you have that instinct to just jump up and go and see, are you okay? What's going on? So I feel like it's that same kind of just, it's automatic. There's such a deep love there. So that's something that, maybe you start preparing yourself for. I don't know if it has begun, but I know that it will be. Okay? Now, we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. Okay, number 14. Number 78. It's 14 again. No. 52. Number 52. All right. Let's see. Now we're going to do our wild bohemian affirmation cards. All right. And we'll just flip through, stop where it feels right here. We have a little fern or something. 24. I am divine truth. Also, I think it's not aloe. I don't know what it is. It's not a fern though, I don't think. Fica? I don't know. I don't know about these kind of plants very much. Anyway, sorry. 24. I am divine truth. Stretch, expand, open, and breathe. Love is space, and there's plenty for you. And there is plenty for you, baby. All right. Okay, so now we have the Dreamer's deck. Okay, and I'm just going to flip on through and stop where it feels right. And it says, I know that worrying only blinds me from the beauty that is all around me. I am not stressing. I am not stressing. All right. I'm with it. No more stress. Be banished stress. Get out of here. All right. So, Leo, I love you, obviously. And thank you so much for being here with me. I want to, I want to ask you about, well, I've been asking everybody about the solstice for ages, but it is coming up sooner and sooner and sooner. What do you do? What do you do to bring in the new season? What is your style of celebration? Or are you just kind of like, whatever? Some years I am. I'm going to be honest, right? It's a very busy time of year, but I think I'm going to have a fire. I mean, that's the one thing I know is going to happen for sure. Fire. Having a fire. Unless it's super dry and we can't have a fire. Thankfully, it's been raining. So hopefully we won't have too dry of a June. But my goodness, it's coming up so quickly. I can't believe this. It's almost June already. So one more day. When this comes out, it'll be the last day of May. So anyhow, I'm interested in what people like to do. Or if you don't, what would you conceive of doing? What is your dream, ritual, ceremony, celebration? Also, if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Let's see. Other than that, yeah, I think that's it. Leo, I love you. Take care of yourself. Also, if you share what you're reading, if you're reading anything, if you have a summer reading list or a winter reading list, if you are down in the southern hemisphere, that's really what I want to know too. What is everybody reading? All right. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Good night.